French wine. Sorry. It's that kind of a day. This is a near and dear brand for Wine Exchange. We've been working with this since the beginning. I think we literally probably sold the first vintage of, at the time, Calvet Thunevin. It was super impressive, and we were totally into the wines of the Languedoc and the Roussillon, as were you guys at some point back in the 90s. And we had incredible success with this brand. It launched on the heels of Jean-Luc Thunevin creating all of his wonderful magic at Chateau Valandreau, and then expanding on that magic and creating the same type of mojo with a fabulous brand down in the southern part of France in the Roussillon with grower Jean-Roger Calvet. And they're buddies, and they hooked up and created this fabulous line of wines, which off and on over the last 2 decades, 2.5 decades, we have done exceedingly well with. But we pick and choose our spots with this brand because we know you guys are like, Southern France, huh? Like, we've been selling Southern French wines for 30 years, and the Languedoc and the Roussillon is still like this big, even with ChatGPT and AI, and like, even my wife now is like, ChatGPT, tell me about the Languedoc. And they're like, well, the Languedoc was established in da-da-da-da. And it's so easy to do and learn now. Like, you can do this, right? So we're imploring you again to take another look at Southern France, because Southern France is delivering quality at the same level that we're seeing from Spain and from some parts of Italy right now, unparalleled quality for the price. Absolutely stunning wines for the money. And today's wine is case in point. So this is the Thunevin-Calvet. It used to be Calvet Thunevin, but they had to change it. Might have been a Calvet issue. I don't know, French bureaucracy. But they had to change, they had to move the names around, the Thunevin-Calvet. This is the 2020 Côtes de Roussillon Village La Mourette, right? La Mourette. Now the La Mourette is, you'll see it etched in there, that's the wild herb that grows around the vineyards in their neck of the woods, in this particular area known as Maury, M-A-U-R-Y. And the thing with Maury is an area that back in the day, when we were a little bit younger, it was known strictly for dessert wines, sweet wines. The Maury Vin du Naturel in this neck of the woods were renowned and still are. They make fabulous dessert wines down this neck of the woods. Kind of not quite porty, they're not as heavy as port, but they're like, you know, sweet, yummy red wines are absolutely delicious. With a penchant for aging, they age beautifully. But the point is, they knew they weren't selling that much sweet wine anymore, so this conversion along, you know, furthered by folks like Calvet, created this scenario where a lot more dry wines were being produced in this very particular terroir. And their terroir is super duper, right? They have great terroir for red wine. The key here is the heat, the weather, and controlling temperature. You can't control temperature, but you can control your vineyards to work with the temperature so that you can create wines of exceedingly beautiful balance and symmetry and richness and yum and joy for no money. So the La Mourette, again, named after the wild herb that grows around this area, kind of like their version of the garrigue that we see further north in the Languedoc, is just terrific. This is 40% Grenache, 60% Mourvedre. There's not a lot of Mourvedre in the Roussillon, and in fact, only 4% of their vineyard is Mourvedre. But this is their alternative wine. So when Tris was in Bordeaux, tasting a bunch of Bordeaux with the Thunevin people, of course, they busted this wine out, and Tristan did the whole like, damn! And in French, they were like, qu'est-ce que c'est le damn? And he said, no, it's a good thing. It means I love this wine very much, and I want to marry it. So we bought a bunch, knowing that these guys just completely blast away. But this is atypical. Usually we buy the Cuvée Constance or the Hugo, like more classic wines from the Roussillon. The Mourvedre here is the kicker, because as climate change comes into place, what we're encountering is Mourvedre is going to be a bigger part of what happens in southern France moving forward, because this grape is a finicky one, but it likes the sun. We know from southeastern Spain that Mourvedre, or Monastrell, likes the sun, and it's getting sunnier there. Accordingly, we're seeing more plantings of Mourvedre, and this wine, 40 Grenache, 60 Mourvedre, grown on these slate soils, these brown, actually more of a brownish slate here as opposed to black slate down in Priorat, but still super slatey, or schisty, as the cool kids say. makes just incomparable value wine. This is beautiful gear. These are not young vines. These are 30-plus-year-old vines. So I think the Mourvedre was probably, the vineyard might have been planted right when Jean Roger and Thunevin were getting together. So, you know, it's funny how things work. You know, these were young vines when this whole project started in the 90s, and now they're 30-plus-year-old vines. These are mature vineyards creating beautiful, beautiful wine. Just happy. You know, dude, you really feel the slate in this wine today. Tristan and I tried a bottle of this just off the boat, was it like a month ago, and you couldn't feel the schist. The slate is a very particular type of soil. For years we thought the Carignan down in Priorat, like the Carignan tasted like that, but no, it was the slate working through the Carignan that has this like licorice, you know, this minerally licorice quality that comes through the wine, which is absolutely gorgeous. Not a stitch of oak on this wine. This is all concrete, aged exclusively in concrete tank. So what you're getting is the true character and terroir of the vineyard. This wine delivers complexity. It's rich, like Chateauneuf rich, you know, classic Southern French, warm, sunny, rich, that beautiful, but the Mourvedre has that forest quality. Like getting back to the whole, I see why you dug on the wine, because, you know, we're huge fans of producers in Chateauneuf in the south, in the north side of Chateauneuf, like Domaine de Ferrand and these guys, Vieille Julienne, they make like a cooler style of Chateauneuf. And this wine coming from this neck of the woods on the slate soils with the Mourvedre imparts that cooler vibe, but from a warm terroir, which when you put them together and it works, huh, it's magical. It's just like you're having your cake and eating it too. It's beautiful, beautiful gear. Dude, this bottle's showing so much better. Yeah. You know, when stuff goes on a boat, it can get shocky. You know, you can have travel shock, boat shock, whatever. And a month ago, this wine was like, now, this is what you tasted today. I'm fired up. This wine's beautiful, as Tristan already knows. 94 points from Jeb Dunnick here. Huge score for the price, which even at its normal imported price, if we went through the traditional three-tier system, man, three-tier system, bad three-tier system. Even if you went through that, the wine would still only be like $25 on the shelf, which is a friggin' smoking deal for this. But we do it direct, $15. Man, this wine for $15, did I leave anything out? Let's see, Valandro, Old Vines, Slate, Killer Value, Wild Herbs, big score. Yeah, $15. Good gravy. Mr. Beeman. Monsieur Beeman. Oh, well done, man. C'est magnifique. C'est a fantastic wine. Only 50 cases. This stuff's going to fly. Because I know our crew's going to taste it tonight, and they're going to be like all over, like white on rice, man. This is gorgeous, gorgeous gear. $15. Get yourself some before it goes away.